you don't talk to people for months on end and you're texting, your fingers will be strong or different muscle, but you will lose your ability to communicate.
I want to shine, but you shine and the team doesn't shine, or we don't succeed, or we don't get the outcome, then we all fail.
There are so many skill sets which often is perceived to be undervalued, but are the most valued ones. So what do you think those are?
Yeah, I think you've got to take everybody around you with you. The work environment increasingly is a team sport. It is not an individual, race. And as part of that, I think you've got to be a good communicator. I think particularly following the pandemic, a lot of those communication skills have gotten more distorted. We've gotten very comfortable with certain forms of communication, and we have lost some of the most fundamental ways that humans have communicated for millennia, which is, talking to each other. Every day, please make at least one phone call. It's as simple as that. Make one phone call, maybe to your mother, maybe to your sister, maybe to whomever. But make a phone call. You will realize that it's a skill that's dying. And because there are a lot of cues that you pick up in voice and in meeting people that you will never get from text.
All super relevant points. There are certain kinds of attitudes as well you need to carry with you, which are necessary skill sets when you start off.
The skill that I think is extremely important coming out of university is to make the pivot that now you are not competing to be in the first place. I want to shine, but you shine and the team doesn't shine, or we don't succeed, or we don't get the outcome, then we all fail. So my learning is that I'd rather work with someone who is a collaborator, a team player, who will lift people up as you go along, than work with the smartest kid in the room.
Someone who's going to starting off their journey to kind of start with that mindset, saying this is why you're doing it, and that's core to you. I would say it's one of the most crucial ones, which is often not spoken about enough.
Very fundamental thing, better to work on as early as possible is the communication skills, because we see that there are people who are very good in coding, who understand technology, who can solve complex problems, but if they cannot communicate or put them across to the people around them, at that point it comes in effects, and it's very difficult to work it then than at the early point.
How do you find a balance between having a passion as well as a career at the same time?
When I joined IBM, and that was 22 years ago, we had this orientation session, and we had a senior leader who came up and he gave an advice that stayed on with me. And he said, in our career journeys, we often ask ourselves, what does success look like? But only if we could ask ourselves, what does happiness look like? I think we'll have a more fulfilling career journey. We over-invest in our careers and under-invest in our relationship. How do you look at your peers, right? Are you looking at them in terms of competition or stepping stones? Or are you making that effort to cultivate those deep, meaningful relationships?
One of the best advice that I got during some of the training sessions that I attended, do not try to achieve and measure yourself on a daily basis when you are trying to do so. Have a meaningful times on how you are going to say that, okay, am I able to achieve something or not? For example, in our job roles, it may not be possible for us to have dedicated amount of time with family every day. But try to average it out, maybe in the next 15 days or 1 week, I should be able to spend some considerable amount of time with family time, and then maybe with for movies or passions or hobbies, etc. That advice or the point that was mentioned by the trainer actually helped me a lot.
I think so. I agree with what you say, not looking at a day-to-day basis, averaging it out.